Selling is focusing on me. When I sell, I'm trying to focus on me, on my interests, on my goals. When I try to serve you, I will try to focus on your interests, on your goals, on your what is of value for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Stack Podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs to increase your leadership, teamwork, and profits. This is your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22.
We have to care for our most important resource, that is people. People are the one generating business idea. People are the one generating new products and services. They don't come out of the blue, out of from the sky. They come from people.
I want to jump into one other thing that is important for me. And as I was browsing your site, I was actually excited to talk about this, and that is negotiation. I live in the Philippines, and here in our country, we call businessmen, entrepreneurs, we call them negociante, negotiators. That's what we call them. I'm going to ask you the opening question for that, and that is, what makes negotiation so difficult? Because a lot of people shy away from it. They would rather not do it than have to negotiate. What
Very
makes
important.
it easier for you?
There are two aspects of negotiation. So first off is the personal aspect of this negotiation process. So this means the relationship. This is probably the most important aspect of the negotiation process. So the personal aspect of negotiation, and then you have what we call the substantive aspect of negotiation. This means price, quantity, quality, condition that should be negotiated. And this could be, even if you're negotiating with an employee, will be salary, time for working, and so on. Many people tend to focus only on the substantive aspect of this negotiation process. This means getting for example, if they're selling a product, getting the higher price, and obviously to get more profits and so on, bigger volume and so on. Now, in practice, we have to understand that we need to care for both personal aspect of negotiation and substantive aspect of negotiation. And we do so when we care for the relationship as well as for the condition to be negotiated. Many people throw the relationship out of the negotiation process and they focus only on the transaction. This is what we call transactional approach of negotiation. Not good, because in some cases, one party tend to win at the expense of others. Not a good approach. In the negotiation process, the only type of agreement that counts is win-win agreements. This means that both parties are benefiting from this agreement. When we have win-win agreements, you are more prone to develop long-term relationship, because when both parties are satisfied, this relationship might not be only for this agreement, but also might be obviously going on for other agreements. Now, the most important mistake in negotiation is that not identifying the needs of others. Not identifying the needs of others, because you cannot satisfy each other's needs in a mutual way if we don't know the needs of each other. So a very important question is, what is this party trying to achieve? What are their main needs? What are their main interests? So, and also we can express our interest too, to see if there is common ground. But the common ground is very important. Why? Because there should be a common ground that is preserving the relationship. Despite disagreement, despite any conflict, or despite different views on the business transaction, companies and individuals should always keep in mind to preserve the relationship. The relationship is the most important aspect. So I always like to quote a very famous author in negotiation that observed that you have to be hard with the problems and soft with people. Hard with problems, soft with people. I like this approach. And this is a book that was written a long time ago. And the author observed that you can get a bit emotional during negotiation, that you can say things that are offensive to others. You can get a bit aggressive during the negotiation process. You won't be compassionate. You won't be empathetic. And this is not good for the relationship and not good for the transaction and the negotiation and the potential agreement. So this means that emotions should be acknowledged during the negotiation process, and they're likely to come up in some cases in a very disruptive way. When this emotion come during negotiation process, if they come, we have to, I always tell my clients to get a cool-off period, means that leaving the room or interrupting the process for a while for the parties to reflect on this. And always try to treat others in a caring way, compassionate way, try to look for these interests that are related to the other party and try to look for ways to connect not only from the business perspective but on an emotional level. Why this person or why this company is trying to get these interests satisfied, what they are important for them, what is relevant for them, but also try to use terminology like we, our agreement, our goal, not terminology like is individualistic terminology such as I or my interest. We can always say our agreement, our potential agreement, our sharing of this information, but also try to always to look for other ways to satisfy the other party interest. So the interest cannot be satisfied only in one way. There are generally many people tend to be non-creative and they try to focus only on one way to satisfy their interest. In some cases, you can find creative way to satisfy each other's interest. So negotiation should be first off recognizing the person with their emotions, recognizing the person with their interests, but also taking into account that the only way for this to succeed from the long-term perspective is an agreement to be win-win, mutually profitable. And also in some cases, you look for creative ways to approach the negotiation process. I will say also that it's important to understand the other person's view, even could be conflicting with ours, because what makes negotiation interesting is that we have different views on the transaction, and this enrich the relationship. Enrich the relationship if we can develop a win-win agreement. I also want to observe that there are some higher goals and some much more specific goals. We always, when we had disagreements, for example, there is agreement regarding the price. For example, one will say that the price is high, and the other one will say the price is low. Very clear disagreement there. Well, we have to go to higher level goals. This means we want to preserve the relationship. We want our relationship to continue. We want to do business together for a while. So always look for higher level goals when there are some specific disagreement regarding lower level goals. This means much more specific goals. And try to obviously relate to the person, not only from the business perspective. I always say I have a full chapter on natural conversation. Try to know more about them. What are their fears? What are their expectations? What are the negative past experiences that they have that they might be preventing from obtaining a good agreement with you? So what are their dreams about this company? What is the most important aspect of their mission, their business mission, in the case of company to company? So it's important to understand that, again, in negotiation, we are dealing with individuals, in some cases representing their own companies, in other cases representing themselves. And we have to focus both on the substantive aspect of business, this means price, quality, quantity, and so on, other conditions, and personal aspect of business, their fears, their expectation, their interest, their desires. So what they really want, what is meaningful to them.
Awesome. There's a lot of stuff that I got out from there. And you know what I think would be exciting, and this is the first time that I'm ever going to do this on the podcast, is one thing that we can do is to have a little fun demonstration. So I don't know if you're game, but I have a budget in mind. Let's say I have a budget in mind and you're trying to sell me your coaching. Let's say you have a coaching package or coaching services for helping me to change my organization to be more compassionate. So I have a budget in mind. I can't go over that budget. You obviously have your selling price. There may be a bottom or the flat price that is your, the lowest you can go. And how do we play it out? So that our audience, could benefit.
I will tell you. First off, I will correct you. I won't try to sell you. I will try to serve you. And this is a very important difference. When, for example, a seller is approaching a customer, my perspective will be not on selling them anything, but try to see if I can serve them. You can say, but this sounds similar. No, selling is focusing on me. When I sell, I'm trying to focus on me, on my interests, on my goals. When I try to serve you, I will try to focus on your interests, on your goals, on your what is of value for you. And also, when I am approaching you, I won't try to be pushy. Why? Because when you are in the selling mode, many companies tend to be pushy. They tend to get the best agreement. They tend to sell the best product for the company, not for others. So I won't use the the selling mode. I will use the serving mode. This means serving, try to know what is of value for you. So I will ask questions such as, what type of training are you looking for? So, and I will ask, for example, what type of training your company had in the past. I will try to talk much more about you than about my services at the beginning, in order to discover, in order to see if there is a match between your expectation, your needs, your interests, and the products. I won't try to force you into buying my products, what many companies try to do. Instead, I will do a little of informal research and I will tell you, what is interesting for you regarding training? What type of training did you have in the past? Did you have online training? Did you have offline training? Do you have individual training or training for groups? And also, did it work for you? If not, why? And also, telling me more about this, because many companies tend to classify customers in groups, we call segments in marketing, and they believe that all customers in this segment are the same. So, for example, all small companies have, we'll say stereotyping companies, will have problem with budget, and not necessarily true, or all companies in that sector have this difficulty. Maybe, maybe not. So I will try to know the individual and the specific company, try to know these specific needs. And then I will try to see if I can match your expectation with my product, because I have knowledge about my products, but you have knowledge about your needs and interests. We have to make this compatible. Your needs, your interests, and my product. There might be compatibility or not. Many companies do not understand that if there is no compatibility, it's better to let the client, the customer, go away and look for other options. If there is no match, I will tell you as a potential customer, I will say, unfortunately, I cannot offer anything to you now at this moment. You can check other companies in the market, such as this. Maybe these are suitable for you, but maybe there is not a match here. So we're always open to discuss this again. Not selling, but serving. But also, we'll try to, supposing that you're not convinced that about this, no, the price is too high, I will say, well, this is the normal price. What is too high? According to what? First, I will try to, for you to offer me some references according to objective criteria. What do you mean high as compared with what? I will try to know more about why it's high. And also, I will try to also be generous. I will say, okay, well, if this is too high for you, you want to have like a half an hour or 1 hour free training to see if there is any match. So to see if you feel comfortable, to see if you can, for example, feel that this is for you. Well, this is very important because with no string attached, in some cases, this customer will say, okay, this sounds no string attached, sounds reasonable to me. We might think about this. No pressure. Many sellers, many companies selling their product try to pressurize customer. And I call this manipulation, manipulatory marketing. This means that in this case, the company is not interested in others. They're interested in their profits, the company's profit, the company's sales, the company market share. And obviously, this is the wrong focus. So, and also, if we get into an agreement, I will try to preserve this relationship and I'll try to increase the level of satisfaction. Supposing that you were pleased with the training that you received, I will say, can you please provide us with feedback? How can this be improved? Many companies have fear of negative feedback. They will say, no, I don't want to receive any negative feedback from customers. This is the wrong approach because I always tell my clients, negative feedback is gold. When you receive some feedback, I don't call negative feedback, I will call constructive feedback. When you receive negative feedback or constructive feedback from clients or customers, this will help you improve your products, your services. It will get you much more innovative. And you might be doing things that we're not perfect. No company is perfect. No individual is perfect. We might be doing things that are not correct or can be improved or tweaked. Well, by knowing this from the user, you can prevent bigger problems because you will be obviously getting much more insightful. You will say, okay, this customer said that this is probably the training is too short. And we can discuss with the team. Can we make this longer? Or can we make this much more oriented to this type of topics? Or can we provide with more cases? Very important. So being oriented to their needs, being also open to feedback from customer, and also being appreciative. I always see companies that are very connected to customer when they want to sell the product, and then when the product is sold, they forgot about customer. Not even an email thanking customer for their time, for their purchase. Completely dismissive, not good. So we want to build a relationship. It's not one-off transaction. We want to build a mutual cycle of satisfaction between your company and my company. Can we connect on a different level later on? Can we discuss later on potential other agreements? Is it possible? But being appreciative show that you care for them. You care for them, you care for their time, you care for their decisions, and you care for their purchase overall.
Amazing. Now there's a lot of gold nuggets right there, because I've been doing negotiation for a decade now as the CEO and founder of SEO Hacker. Let's just say I call you up one day and say, hey Doc, you know what? I think I want my organization to become more compassionate. I think we need what you're talking about. And so let's do a little demonstration right here.
Okay.
Let's do a role play.
Okay, role playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I say, how much would it cost me to get you as our consultant?
Okay, I will say, well, before talking about the price, I will say, what are you looking for? Because we offer customized solution for clients. So we want to add value, and maybe we want to know first what you're looking for. For example, what are your interests? What are you looking for? What type of training are you looking for? Or what type of consultancy activity you have in the past? Can you tell us about the training that you have in the past for your company?
Sure. Well, I'm not entirely sure exactly what I'm looking for, but I can tell you what problems I have. So these are some of my problems right now, Doc. Some of my people are leaving. I don't know why. I think that it's hard to look for work outside, because not a lot of companies are hiring. So I have no idea why some of my people are still leaving. So turnover is becoming a problem for me. And then there are people in my organization who are not leaving, but are telling me I need to improve in terms of compassion, that I need to show more heart, more appreciation. I don't understand why they say that, because I do appreciate them. I do say thank you. I do say that, hey, thanks for this work. Thanks for that project. I appreciate your effort in that. But that's what they tell me. And so these are the problems I have. What do you suggest, Doc?
Okay. Well, this is a preliminary view on your company, but also we might explore this further before giving you a specific quote or a specific offer. I might send you a list of questions. For example, some of these questions might comment about this and might ask more about this point. For example, I want to know how is the climate in the work environment? Are people feeling supported with one another? And I want you to give this question to your employees for them to answer, and then we can analyze this question to know further, because you are saying that employees are being treated in a thankful way, but I want to know their opinions. They are the one affected by all this high turnover rate. So, but I can send you a questionnaire. Another question that I will include in the questionnaire, for example, will be, are employees feeling supported in challenging times, for example, during the pandemic? Do they have, for example, flexibility to work from home? You have to give me permission, because we cannot ask an employee this question if we don't have your permission as a CEO. But it's important. Why? Because I want to tell you, even when the feedback is negative, you will discover a lot of positive things to improve your work environment. Think about this. When employees give you negative feedback, supposing that they don't like their boss or they don't like the way that they're led, you will be saving a lot of cost if you can correct this. This will be a win-win. Employees will feel much more supported, but also at the same time, your workplace will become much more enlightened and will become much more compassionate, and these employees will be working much more effectively. I'm including this question because research observed that when the employees are working in a much more cooperative and compassionate way, the productivity tends to go up, and also they become more creative. Another question that I will include in this questionnaire is very important, and this will take probably 1 week for you to bring this question back with the answer, and we can analyze with my team, will be, are employees feeling recognized every day? Do they feel that they are doing something that is meaningful? Because you know what is the most important cause in employees leaving a company? They feel that what they're doing is boring, meaningless, repetitive. And I will ask them, are you being trained in other areas in this company? Are your skills being enhanced through training, mentoring, tutoring? You have to give me permission, because this question also will bring a lot of insight, and this insight will help you improve the work environment. Maybe you have to do a lot of foundation work to improve the workplace, to improve training activity, to improve the recognition scheme for employees, and to make them feel that they count. Because my feeling, my intuition, I cannot be sure yet because we haven't analyzed the question, is that employees might feel a bit dismissed. They might feel that they are doing meaningless job even they are appreciated. Job rotation means employees working in different areas so that they can acquire new skill could be a good approach. But we cannot devise any plan until we get this little questionnaire but this will be interesting for you to get some insight. Am I clear?
Crystal. And Doc, this all sounds good and swell, and I do believe that this is gonna help our organization entirely. But I'm afraid I might not be able to afford your rates.
Well, if you cannot afford my rates, that you don't know yet what the rates are, well, we can discuss, and we might offer you that something that is more smaller, but could approach the most important problems. We are always open and flexible to offer things that are suitable. We don't want you to force anything that is beyond your budget. So don't worry so much about the economic aspect. The economic aspect will be discussed later on. I will try to find a deal that is good for you and good for us. So it's not only focusing on us. So all agreements that we sign with our clients are win-win agreements. If there is no win-win agreement, there is no agreement. So we have to be sure about this. You won't be forced to sign an agreement that is not beneficial for you. So don't worry, we'll try to find out solution, and also we will be open to your view on regarding the costs and regarding the fees to be paid.
That's amazing. Thank you for that role play. I'm happy about that demonstration and very happy about how we got to flesh it out and how you assured me that it's going to be win-win. I think that is something that a lot of negotiation counterparts don't get, that they have to
Very
win.
important.
It doesn't matter if their counterpart loses. But no, if you want to have a long-term relationship, it has to be win-win.
This episode is partnered up with Armoury.ph. Armoury is an online watch store and is the exclusive distributor of the brands TW Steel, Dion Milano, Fonderia, Luminox, and Mondane in the Philippines. Yes, folks, those are Italian watch brands. If you are looking to buy your next go-to luxurious everyday watch, go to Armoury.ph and enter the coupon code LS30. Armoury.ph delivers straight to your doorstep with a security tape to make sure that your package is safe from theft, arrives on time, and is guaranteed working 100%. Go to Armoury.ph and buy your first luxury watch today.
People will trust you if you are honest, but people will trust you also if you are competent. And if you're not competent, then you won't be considered someone who's trustworthy.